Hey guys, it's FifaRalle here and welcome back to another episode of the Skill and Career Mode, the second one of today. I thought as it was weekend, why not upload two of these? So if you haven't watched the first one, be sure to go and check it out. And then this episode, for you guys who enjoy the Skill and Career Mode, you'll definitely enjoy this episode because, well, the title probably revealed that there's a pretty good goal to come. Maybe a couple more, who knows. Anyways, we are up against Southampton in the league and we're sitting 11th currently, but Southampton is also a bit of a reminder that it's not too far down to some of the lower placements in the league. They're only 3 points behind us, but they're sitting 15th, so we do not want them to win and sort of catch up ground. They will not surpass us if they win because they have a worse goal score. But still, we do not want to drop points against them. And Spellerin on the ball here played very well in the last episode, getting goals and assists and just playing very, very good and winning. I think he won a penalty, or maybe it was a different player, but he just played very well overall. And speaking of penalties, we do win one against Crystal Palace. It's Embolo to win it. Cabaye steps up and he's back with his Penengas. He got a little bit of confidence after having scored a couple of ones, sending him into the side net. And now look at this from Bolasie. Oh, speaking of confidence, what a piece of skill that was, but unfortunately he couldn't score that long shot. Southampton had a chance as well with Pelle, a header there, but not exactly the best effort, and that was the only effort in the first half. And as we go into the second half, it's hard to break on through, but what a save from Stekelenburg there. But we're definitely not done in this match, and we sort of recreate the stuff from before. And this time around, we score in off the post. It's Embolo to get the goal. 2-0 it is. Southampton with another shot that just goes far wide off the goal. But then in the 66th minute, they managed to get a goal with Mane there and sort of make me a little bit nervous, but then again, we created a lot of stuff against Southampton. They really struggled with our attacking play, and look at that knockback from Arroyo. Taps it in at the near post, and it is 3-1, and I talked about a pretty good goal in this episode, and there's alright that one from Arroyo, but now look at this from Bolasie. Is that the goal of the season? I don't know. It's definitely a contender. Some really good skill moves, especially that hocus pocus in between three defenders. And he makes it 4-1, and then it didn't really matter that Van Dijk, I think it was Van Dijk getting the goal there, made it 4-2, because we won the match very convincingly. We played very well, scored some pretty alright goals, and that saw us getting another win in the league. And Embolo, we keep sort of training him, and he's already an 81 rated now, so we're halfway through the season, and I think he's grown 5 ratings, so if he can continue that throughout the next half, part of the season, he might be like 85, 86 rated, which would be pretty awesome. But before we look further into that, we got a match up against Norwich in the Capital One Cup, and it's the quarterfinals. There's not too many teams left in the tournament, and actually none of the really big Premier League sides are left. Maybe Spurs is like the biggest side, but I think all of the sides left are sides we might be able to beat if we can go on through here from this Norwich match. But then again, we are playing with our B lineup. We're playing with all the reserves. The players are not getting much playing time, but they've still been performing well in the Capital One Cup, and they made it such that we reached the quarterfinals at least. So there's still a couple of good players in here. McGeady and Arroyo gets playing time every now and again. Then we got Sacco, and we got Gale and Campbell as well to play. And here we have McGeady breaking on through. And we actually played pretty well against Norwich. The only thing sort of denying us the goal was Roddy in the net. He played very, very well in this match. But then we reached the 56th minute. McGeady, he has seen that Bolasie goal from the last match. And now look at this run into the box. A perfectly timed McGeady spin past the defender. And finally we get the ball past Roddy. And a nice little goal there. Not as good as Bolasie's, but still a pretty good goal. Unfortunately, Norwich gets a goal here. Had me a bit nervous, but they were given offside. It didn't count, and that means we do win the match 1-0 against Norwich, and we move on through into the semi-finals. And I think we might have a pretty good shot at winning the Capital One Cup. 2 games to go. Of course, there's a couple of Premier League sides in it, but it's definitely sides I think we'll be able to beat. Maybe apart from Spurs, could be a tough opponent, but I think we got a good shot at it. Anyways, just like the last episode, my Elgato sort of messed up. I recorded both episodes in the same session, and I was also streaming it, and what happened was basically my Elgato just, like, it corrupted the footage, and I lost 2 games in the last episode, and I lost this game against Stoke, but I decided just again to show you the goals so you sort of could see what happened in the match. It's not the best of quality at all, but Kabay scored a penalty, and then he scored a long shot, and he's sort of climbing up on the sort of top scorer list. He scored a lot of goals, especially due to all the penalties we won, but that was a pretty nice sort of long distance shot, and we won the match against Stoke, giving us 3 more points in the league. And we're on a pretty good roll so far. Of course, we drew a lot of games in the last episode, but just sort of an unbeaten streak. It's actually been quite a while since we lost some games, and that's because, well, we had all the tough sides in the start, and then we sort of got our form up and going against some of the sort of lower league table sides. But then again, we're up against Bournemouth, and they're actually sitting right under us in the table, sort of similar to Southampton, though this time around Bournemouth, if they do win, they will jump past us in the table. But we are in good form, we have the momentum, and we have the belief in ourselves, and we only played 1-2 minutes before Zaha puts it into the back of the net, and we are up 1-0. And then we find Mr. Bellerin, the guy who just got so much pace. He sends it in, but Zaha does not score there. Should have been a goal in my opinion, but Zaha tries to redeem himself here a little bit later, goes into the box. We only played 12 minutes, and we are creating so many chances, and we should probably have been up 2-0 by this stage. Bolasie, who scored that beautiful goal in his last, not the last one, because that was up against Stoke, but the previous game, almost scores another beautiful goal, and not previous game, what I'm talking about, the game against Southampton, that's where he scored that beautiful goal, and it was close again. Bolasie really found his form at this stage of the season, and Bournemouth had a couple of chances here, but they wouldn't really make anything of it, and instead we'll go into the box here, and we'll pick up a penalty for Kabay to step up for and sort of try to extend his goal scoring tally, and he'll do that with yet another Panenka. It seems to be working now, and you guys don't have to complain about the Panenkas now. They're going into the back of the net at least. But if they if I miss them, I understand why you guys complain about me using the Panenka, but I just think it looks really, really nice to score them. Anyways, we get one final chance in the 90th minute. It doesn't really come to anything, and we win the match in the end 2-0, and that is going to be where we end off this episode. So really, really good episode, picking up a bunch of wins, and we're actually sitting sixth place in the league right now. There's a bit of a gap up to Manchester United. There's 6 points up to them, but then we sort of have all the big teams up there: Manchester United, Chelsea, and Everton, and then Spurs for some reason first place, and City a little bit too far away from us. But maybe we can either reach United, Chelsea through the next half year. At least if we continue the form, it might be possible. Anyways, this is going to be the end of this episode, guys. I hope you did enjoy it, and we'll have the next episode out in a couple of days, so stay tuned for that. And anyways, I want to say thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you guys later.